Let's talk about this pocket flyer, this pocket drone. What is it all about?
Well, it's a very exciting robot. I like to say the best robot is the one you have with you, because if it's not there on your mission, if it's not there in your police vehicle, it's not going to get used. So the pocket flyer, you take it out of your pocket and you send it in, and it can go around, it can search, it can take a look at what's inside, so the person can stay at a safe standoff distance.
What characterizes this particular kind of drone versus the drones that many people may be more familiar with that fly outside?
Well, this drone is persistent. We have put a microfilament tether on it that supplies power and communications, so it's not limited in its time of flight like most drones this size.
There's something called spooling technology. Yes. What is that all about?
Yeah, so the pocket flyer is spooling a very, very small thread-like wire as it's moving around, and that allows it this, infinite time of flight, and which is enabling for missions, because a vehicle this size, it would literally last 10 minutes without this, and that's not enough time to get the job done.
And I mentioned that search and rescue would be one of the missions for this pocket flyer. Is that why you designed it?
It's search and rescue, it's Army recon, it's FEMA going into collapsed structures, it's first responders, a hostage situation, or a school shooting. In fact, the inventor of the microfilament technology was talking originally to the police chief at Columbine, and the police chief said, if only we had eyes inside, because it was an active shooter and we didn't know about it, and they feel so terrible that they didn't go in. If they could have got eyes inside before before more tragedy happened, they would have been able to know to go in rather than, stay back and negotiate.
As far as your background goes in the world of robotics, give people a little idea of what it was like to be one of the founders of iRobot. People know it from the Roomba, the floor cleaner, and also more advanced robots.
Well, it was an actual dream come true for me, because I wanted to build robots since I was 11, and I saw Star Wars on the big screen, fell in love with R2-D2. And, when we started iRobot, my passion is to get robots into people's hands. We would have thought it was successful at getting 1,000 robots out there. And in fact, we've got 10 million Roomba vacuuming robots into people's hands. And even more exciting, we deliver robots for the military, and they've been credited with saving the lives of hundreds of soldiers and thousands of civilians. So it is a dream come true for me.
All right, now as far as that dream goes, when you look at the use of robots and combine that with the use of drones, aerial, unmanned drones, can you see a time when municipalities around the country have their own armada of drones, or they have a drone force that they can send into these kinds of situations?
There's just so many uses for drone technology. You can start out with those situations, going into dangerous situations and keeping the person at a safe standoff distance, but we're even more excited about the commercial applications. We're building these persistent drones for outdoor use too. We call it the PARC, Persistent Aerial Reconnaissance and Communications. You send it up and it stays there, and from that vantage point, you have a unique view of your facility. So whether it's a farm or a mine or a construction site, an oil rig, a port, anything you want to continually see. People are trying to get this type of imagery from satellites, and you can get a pixel every few feet. But with the drones flying at 500 feet, you can have eyes on your whole facility an entire time. And then on our roadmap, we get to drone delivery, which I think is one of the largest commercial applications.
Well, drone delivery for things like packages from Amazon, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, because it's going to tickle that itch for that instant gratification. You don't want to wait overnight anymore. I mean, overnight used to be, that would be really great if I could get my package overnight. But now you want to place the order and you want to get it within half an hour, and I believe drone technology will allow you to do that.
Now, I noticed that you mentioned Star Wars. That's your favorite movie, isn't it?
That's absolutely my favorite movie. It inspired my robot dreams.
Now, in your robot dreams, before you go to bed, what was the last book that you read to connect the dreams with something that maybe other people can experience?
I read the Everything store about Amazon's founding.
And obviously that has got to have some bearing on the use of drones for you.
Absolutely, because I can't imagine the future where you're not getting at least those packages you want quickly delivered by drone technology.
All right, now, as someone that is involved in technology, you said since a very young age, do you remember the first computer that you used?
It was actually a Radio Shack TRS-80 that my dad brought home when I was 11, and you know, I spent a lot of time as a child hacking on computer programs and simple programs.